Welcome back to the next episode of Sugar and Spice. This week, we're getting a male's perspective on dating with guest AJ Paps.
Oh, we're so excited.
I know. Look, I am excited. There's a list of like people that I've wanted to do podcasts with, and you two have been on it because you have interesting views, good views, but views that I align with.
Yeah, oh my God, I was just going to say we feel very aligned to you.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. Let me get
So how old are you? Your star sign? Like,
slow down. I'm shy. All right. 28, Capricorn.
Oh, me too.
I'm a Capricorn. Like both my parents are Capricorn.
Wow.
And my dad's a Capricorn as well.
Wow. But what date is your birthday?
Christmas.
I'm cusp with Aquarius. I'm like the opposite end.
Raquel?
Leo.
You give Leo energy, but
yeah, look, she's like,
it's the hair. It's the hair. I feel like you can always tell Leo by the hair.
You can feel it. It's like it's my world. You're just living in it.
Yes, but we love it. We love Raquel's world.
Yeah, it's pretty nice of you.
And how do you two know each other?
We met in Berlin, which is so random because we live 10 minutes from each other in Melbourne.
Yeah.
It would have been 9 years ago. We're having our 9-year anniversary in September.
We were like little raving girls.
We were.
And then we like...
Okay. At that club in Berlin, what's that club? The one where you got to work like 10 hours?
Berkheim?
That one?
Yeah.
No, we
didn't meet there, but we went
gallery.
We met at a gallery.
Maybe you two are soulmates. Maybe it's that red string theory.
Oh,
we are.
You know the red string theory?
Yeah. We're so platonic soulmates. Yeah. For sure.
I love that.
Like anyone thought we were going to be together. Hey.
Had to throw in the platonic.
Yeah. And so how did you get into the
tell us about your
sexual space?
Okay. So I got into the adult industry when I was 18 years old, but it didn't start when I was 18. Well, it did legally, but not illegally. But when I was, my stepdad at the time got into the adult industry in the late 1990s when adult stores were just DVDs. It was like walk into an adult store and every single wall was just porn. So South Africa had revoked a law essentially stating that pornography is now available to sell. He went to South Africa, had a thriving business there, met my mum here, but then he would do 6 months there, 6 months here. So my mum essentially said to him, look, I'm not doing this. You either decide to move back to Australia and build your businesses here, or we just go our separate ways. Love always wins. He came back, opened up a couple adult stores here. And then when I turned 18, I was doing a Bachelor of Marketing, and I'm like, oh, I want a job. I don't really want to work for my parents, but it's like selling adult toys is one of the best ways to learn how to communicate because you're dealing with people's most intimate part of their lives.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, so especially if you're a male trying to sell adult toys to a woman, you know, like it's a very complex sort of, I wouldn't say negotiation, but conversation, because you like I said, you're dealing with a woman's most intimate part of her life, and women barely speak to their partners, to their friends about it. How are they going to speak to a stranger about it?
Yeah.
So that allowed me to learn how to better communicate with women, and I do it in a very open and humorous response. My thing is, if I can make you laugh, I'm gonna drop those barriers, and if I'm honest and straightforward, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Okay, he's not here to try bang me. He actually wants to help me.
Yeah.
If you were to walk into the store now, I'll be like, hi, ladies, what are we in search for? And you're like, oh, I'm like, all right, listen, I've been doing this a long time. If you're looking for a first-time toy, it ain't my first rodeo. You know, you're not the first person I've sold a toy to that has a clitoris. And do you either like bouncing or do you like grinding? They'll be like, oh, what sort of question is that? Bouncing or grinding? Grinding. So you're more clitoral. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I think that has allowed me to, which later got me into my content, to be, I've got a 90% female audience.
Wow.
My audience is 90%. So whatever.
Oh, that's amazing.
TikTok's 500,000, so whatever 90% of that is.
I love you. I see them in the comments.
Yeah, that's crazy. I get some wild comments. Some of them freak me out. I'm like, oh God, I would not say that.
Have you ever hooked up with a follower?
yeah, but like then again, I have so many people that follow me. It's just like, I'm a normal person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think I'm special. I don't
Do you
think
feel
I'm
like because you talk about it though, there's like pressure to like perform really well and give this woman like the night of her life? Oh, not really. Oh,
I
you
mean,
quite confident in your ability.
I can't promise a night, 30 seconds maybe, but I can't promise. I
Oh,
think, look, I don't have pressure because I'm very honest. I'm like, I'm your average guy. I don't think I know more than anyone. Like, I don't think I'm better than anyone else in the bedroom. And I don't want to have that preconceived thing because then there's sort of like, I mean, if you go through all my content over the last 5 years, I barely speak about my sex life because one day I'm going to be married, and like we we're talking about this offline. One day I'm going to be married, and the last thing, you know, I want my partner or my partner's family or even my family or my kids to be like, oh, they must do this in the bedroom, they must do that in the bedroom. So that's why I'm so consistent with saying I only do missionary, I only go one round, and then I cuddle. That's it. Because at the end of the day, it's like my wife doesn't need to know her business, have her business in the street.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah.
No, she's taken care of. She gets whatever she wants, but like, it's not. You know, I try to keep it like.
that's fair. Let's get into tips for men.
Okay,
I feel like
very female perspective.
yeah, we're very female perspective, and we love getting the insight from a man. Dating, pleasure, sex. Like, can you give us a little bit of insight, maybe into dating? We'll start there.
Okay. Dating. Look, I think for a man, dating can be very intimidating. Dating, if you don't have the, I was having this conversation with my best friend and our other friend, and our other friend is not very confident with women. He's never been confident with women. Whereas before my social media platform, I was always confident with women. I didn't get a platform and all of a sudden I became this person. I've always been the same sort of level of confidence, not really intimidated by women. I find these days a lot of men are intimidated by women, and then women are pissed off because men are intimidated by them or scared to ask them on a date. Like I just went back on Hinge for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And going through all these women's profile and all the prompts are, I want you to pick the date and time, date and time, date and time, date and something. Isn't that the fucking basics? Like, what's going on?
It's not.
It's not in Australia.
That's the basics.
Australia, the gender imbalance is
Yeah.
like, I had a girlfriend from Russia and she was like, she's lived around the world and she's like, I've literally lived everywhere and I've never experienced such a gender imbalance like there is in Australia.
Yeah.
Women are men and men are women.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's more prevalent in Melbourne, as we were talking about. Like, I think Melbourne are more like soft boys and women are a little bit more harsh.
Yeah.
And then in Sydney, it's like, but I definitely think that men in Australia fear women.
Totally.
My biggest tip to men is, and I get rejected all the time. Like I get rejected as well. It's life. It happens. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm not everyone's puzzle piece. But the thing is, I'm not scared to get rejected.
That's the key.
A lot of men are scared to get rejected. I'll walk up to a woman who thinks, Raquel, you've been to Scorpios.
Yeah.
In Mykonos.
Yeah.
And Scorpios in Mykonos has like, I would say probably some of the most drop dead gorgeous women on the planet.
Yeah.
I would walk up and talk to them because like they're just like, it's just a woman. Yeah. It's just like going up to a guy, like there's no difference. And what you'll find is, and the advice I tell men is, what you'll find is all the women that you're scared to go up to, there's 1,000 men that are scared to go up to them. So even if you're average looking, even if you know you're not where you think you should be, by you just going and saying hello, you've literally beat everyone else.
Yeah, so true.
It's very true.
And she's gonna like, and it's how you handle the rejection as well. Because a girl can be like, I've got a boyfriend, and that's where you say like, not a problem. He's a lucky guy. I hope you have a good night and fuck off.
Yeah.
Not like fuck off, but you fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't sit and be like, no
way.
You're not even up. Because I used to, when I was younger, I used to run nightclub events. And I put it in the same sort of relationship with, if a guy were to come up drunk to me at the door and I said to him, look, not tonight. If he's like, well, fuck you, why can't I get him, blah, blah. It's like a sort of a coping mechanism or a safety mechanism, like you made the right choice.
Yeah.
If he turned around and said to me, oh, not a problem, mate. Is there anywhere else you recommend? I'm like, oh, fuck, I did. Like, what a gentleman. Like, you'd want this type of person in you. And I would be like, okay, you know, I'll come back in 20 minutes. It's the same thing as women. If you handle the rejection well, and she just put up the facade of, I can't be fucked dealing with someone because maybe I've had a bad day, or maybe I've had, you don't know what's going on in her life.
Yeah.
And then you handle it like a gentleman, and you take the rejection like a gentleman, she's going to spin the block in a weird way.
Yeah.
She'll find an excuse like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have a boyfriend. I was just having a bad day. I couldn't be fucked dealing with someone. What's your name?
Yeah.
Surprise. So the biggest key for men when it comes to dating is, one, don't be scared of getting rejected. Like, shoot your shot, king. Don't be a weirdo about it, but shoot your shot. Two, book a fucking date. It doesn't, at this stage, at this day and age, it doesn't even matter where you book. Just book.
Yeah.
What you do is, what I personally do is, I just ask, like, before I book, I say, look, so we don't have anything, what are your don'ts? What don't you like? And then leave the rest to me.
Love that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, last thing you want is like, oh, you pick up a girl, you talk to her, you vibe, and you take her to a seafood restaurant, and she's allergic to shellfish. And you're like, what the fuck? You trying to kill me? So like, if you ask what don't, and I also ask you, what are the 3 on your list that you haven't been to? So you still sort of surprise them, but you don't like, what's it called? Because as you would know, women give clues. She's gonna see. Next thing, I'm sure with your partner, you'll be like, you know, Raquel will be like, I tried this restaurant, and you'll be like to your partner randomly, oh, Raquel went to this restaurant. It was so amazing. You don't give like, we know you don't give a fuck that it was amazing. You're pretty much hinting to him, go, like, take me here, without me having to ask you.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with dating. You have a little bit of banter. You get the vibe of what she likes, and then you make a suggestion. I personally recommend don't go overly formal to the first bit, or have a first formal date where you go to a nice restaurant and all that, and the second date is like low key. Because another thing is as well, I mean, every dating scene and every city is different. Like, I find there's a lot of women out there, not all women, and some men are just want pen pals too. So every sort of thing has their different downfalls, but there's a lot of women out there that they just want to go to the restaurant to get the nice photo.
Really?
100%.
That's a Sydney thing.
That must be.
I could never take a photo on a date.
No, neither.
I had this argument with my mate the other day because he posted a photo, and he's like, oh, you didn't ask me about my date. I said, why would I ask you? Well, I posted here and you didn't comment. I'm like, why the fuck are you taking photos on a date?
I'm like not on my phone.
I just feel
phone
like
in bag, like.
Me too, not on the phone, but also it's kind of giving the vibe of, I wouldn't be able to be in a place like this if you didn't take me. I think, like, I can take myself to any restaurant if I want to, with my friends, with anyone. It's the thing that I'm going with you, like, right, that you're taking me.
I can never imagine being like, hey.
That's so crazy.
That's
I could get my boyfriends to take photos of me, like actual boyfriend, be like, take a photo of me.
Nah, neither.
I'd be weirded out by it.
And that's the thing. So it's like,
maybe it's have to.
Yeah, maybe it is a silly thing. But like, you also got to distinguish it. Like, I told him, all right, cool. You did the fancy restaurant. Now the next is you tell her, look, it's cold in Sydney. What are you doing here? We're gonna put trackies on, and we're gonna get like a love crepe, which is like a crepe with Nutella in it.
Nice.
Because that sees, like, sort of weeds her out if she's just with you for the fancy dinners or not. Because there are some women like that.
That's crazy.
Melbourne.
It's life. Melbourne.
Oh.
Sydney living, Melbourne women. Any day of the week.
Yeah.
Melbourne women have this banter and like this energy about them, and like a lot of the time they give you the sort of the time of day. They don't like, Melbourne women don't like, they're less judgmental.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's my personal finding.
Undoubtedly. But I think Melbourne men, as much as we like drag them through the mud, they aren't as judgmental as Sydney men. Sydney men are way more judgmental.
Yes, because like Melbourne men are like women, which would actually make them more judgmental. But
no, I think Sydney guys, that's their feminine element. They're way more judgmental
right,
about everything. Yeah, that's my
which is odd because I feel like the men in Melbourne are way more feminine.
Yeah,
so you think would be judgy, but they're not.
No, but judgy is not a feminine or masculine thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think Sydney men are more direct. more like Melbourne men are more like they're just more like mellow, like go with the flow. Whereas Sydney men are like, we're going here, we're getting this. We're
because I feel like men in Melbourne want to be treated like they want to be treated like women.
They say like, what is she?
That's just a lot of men everywhere.
What is
really?
Men want princess treatment. Men want princess treatment these days.
That's the modern thing. Yeah, they do.
No.
But even like here, there's a bar that we go to, and I feel like whenever Sydney guys, you can really tell. Like if we go to Bar Bambi or if we go anywhere, you can really tell the Sydney people amongst the Melbourne people. Yeah. The Sydney guys like, you here, come here. This guy took my shoe off to see my feet. Like, they're way more like
that's how you know he's from Sydney. He's from Sydney. That's
they're
Sydney.
way more like, you know, they really go after what they want for sure.
But look, it can be taken as a good thing or it can be taken as a bad thing. Like at the end of the day, I think confidence is attractive. You have to go for what you want, but you also like, again, you have to be able to handle rejection as well. If you're a man and you go for what you want, you'll be surprised that majority of the time you're going to take it. But also, there's a lot of women out there that self-sabotage because they're like, oh, I've never had this before.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I've never had this before. How do I do? Is this too good to be true? Is he love bombing me? Is he doing this? Is he doing that?
That's the thing about the whole love bombing thing.
But to be honest, like I feel like there are so many experiences of women being love bombed that it's kind of hard. You don't know when it's happening. It's happened to me.
And when it doesn't happen, when I don't get the whole crazy about you, I'm like bored. Like if a guy, so people are like, that's love bombing. I'm like, is it or is it being ethnic?
Like, babe, both the time
I think it's an ethnics. Like I have my best friend. So like I love arguing with people when they're like, oh, you know, there's no good men out there, and there's this because like I get the comments all the time. I want to clone you. Like one, you don't know if I'm putting on a facade for social media. I could be toxic for you. I'm not, but like you don't know that. But I always have this argument because I'm not a one-off. I'm not a what's the word? An anomaly. There is so many good men out there, you know.
No, there.
You can attest. You know what I mean? Yeah, he cooking roast and shit. Like there's so many good men out there, and my best friend is one of them. Like, and his missus that he's with now. I always say those two went through like not with each other, but they give the world so much love that God decided to give them each other so that they can experience the own amount of love that they give to the world, but give to each other.
That's beautiful.
And she first thought that he was love bombing her, and like he's like to me, she thinks I'm love bombing her. I'm like, she'll understand. This is just how we are. This is how you treat women. Like she was in New Zealand, and she went to New Zealand for a holiday, and she sent him a restaurant. That's a cute shit women do too. You know, when they start filling you in with their lives, oh, we love it. She sent him a photo of the restaurant she was going to, but not the actual restaurant, just the view of it. He went and found where the view was, because she's one of those girls who likes going to dinners by herself and all that stuff. He found out where the view was, went and researched where the restaurant is, called them up, picked up her bill. She went to go pay the bill, and she's like, no, David picked it up.
Oh,
in another country, mind you, he's in Sydney, and like just but that's how it's supposed to be. That's also the masculine element of protecting, loving, and providing.
Yeah, definitely.
But it can be seen as love bombing because some men do that, and I don't agree with it. I've always been very open and honest and said to people, look, if you want to just have fun, be open and honest and upfront early that you just want fun. No one should be led on and made to feel that they're special and they're amazing just to get fucked and then left. It's not right. There's so many people out there, both men and women, who just want to have fun and strict boundaries. Go do that with them. Don't lead on someone who is looking for love and looking for this, and you just want to come on and sleep with them and then fuck off. Like, it's not nice.
Yeah.
It's more so love bombing and then ending up in an abusive relationship. I think that's the scary part for women. And I'm not saying that women don't love bomb too, but I think majority of the time the experience is you'll be love bombed by a narcissist and then end up in the most like fucked relationship you've ever been in with someone who treats you like a piece of shit.
Well, women I find fall for words. And I always say it, don't fall for words, fall for action. A man's going to show you how he feels about you. And the minute you get a whimp of it, of like not like agreeing with what you like, that's when you got to like stop looking at potential and start looking at how exactly where you are at this moment.
Yeah.
Start judging him of, can you be with this man from this exact moment moving forward?
Yeah.
Give him 1 or 2 chances to rectify, because that's where good sex comes in as well. Like, not as a band-aid, but communication is the most important thing. You know, I just read a book called Mindset by Dweck. Bless you.
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry. It's cold here too. I've been holding in sneezes as well. I've been reading a book about mindset with Dweck, and it talks about in relationships how so many things can be resolved by just taking a breath and then communicating. We jump to the trigger, and miscommunication causes so many issues. It's the same thing. You got to judge. You got to be able to understand when you're being love bombed, or understand, is he showing you or is he telling you? You got to go on someone's actions. Someone's actions, both man and woman, is going to depict. I don't go on potential. I don't care if you're going to be this, you're going to be that. Show me, don't tell me.
My dad literally says that all the time. He's like, never believe a man's words, or like,
never.
He's like, a man will tell you anything. He'll literally tell you anything. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to do this. And he's like, and you'll waste your time. Like, you go on your own timeline, and you always, like, if someone shows you they are, believe them. Words are just words. But yeah, I guess it's tricky. And do you think that good sex can also be toxic in that way? Because you can overlook other.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You'll feel a lot of the time people get caught in these relationships where it's just they're only validated by the sex. You know, they have these, but you know, the sex is great, but he's a piece of shit. Okay, go get a vibrator.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have sex with someone because the sex is great, but they treat me like shit. Well, it makes absolute no sense.
Because that's separating sex and emotion. That's like purely sex, and then emotion has been like 2 separate things, which for most people, for me, it's one. Personally, I guess we're having sex just to have sex and it's casual, like whatever. But if you want to pursue something with someone and the sex is great, but they treat you like shit, I never understand that. It's like, ciao.
I do know though, from experience, having an unworldly physical connection with someone can be, can make you overlook,
gloss over a lot of the
things that you would usually
that's true.
never.
I agree.
That's true.
But
I agree.
think that, like, and it has to be like unworldly, where it's like, this is not, you know, it's just whatever, and like, it can really make you do things that you usually accept things that are dick drunk. Yeah, sometimes
that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, I've never been dick drunk, but like that, that's what it's like. Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, they treat you like shit, but the sex is so good, you're sitting there kissing their shoulder like, I love you, and they're like, don't fucking touch me, and you're like, okay, whatever. But like,
I know, like that. No. Yeah, no. But
it's funny.
What are your icks for girls? Like, what is something, just whether it's on a date or whatever, what is some major?
The phone thing, like you said, the phone thing burns me. Burns me.
What's the phone thing? Oh, yeah, being on your phone.
If they're sitting, like, if I pick them up and they're sitting on the phone.
Yeah.
What am I, a fucking Uber driver?
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind you being passenger princess, but when the first couple of dates, I don't want to see you on the phone unless it's an emergency, unless it's work. I know I'm not boring.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I make someone feel comfortable in my presence. They're not going on the phone because of awkwardness. It's just a bad habit, but that bad habit's unattractive. I didn't like. We're both spending time to be with each other and get to know each other. I don't want to see you on the phone.
I was recently on a date, and I always have my phone like sitting up, and he was like, I noticed all these little things about you. One of the things is like, you always have your phone facing upwards, and I really like that. And I was like, yeah, it's so random.
Hide your text. Maybe some people have it flat so they can't see what's up.
Sure.
But that's where you got to be like a green. What am I on? Oh fuck, Tinder. No, yeah, that's the thing, you know. That's a green flag. If someone I noticed that as well. I don't really notice it with girls because some people are just private, especially if you don't owe anyone anything when you first start dating them.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know them nothing, you don't know them shit. But like having it on open adds that sort of reassurance that, this person's not like, they're not hiding something from me from the jump.
Yeah.
Another ick is I don't like bitchy women.
Yeah.
Like, I find it, it's not my cup of tea. Some people like that stuck up, that like thing. I'm really, really attracted to women that get along with other women. But like women, like the woman that her aura, other women naturally gravitate towards her.
I love that.
I love that too.
Have you ever watched Crazy Stupid, not Crazy Stupid Love, the Crazy Rich Asians?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the rich cousin, and she walks into the jewelry store, and she helps a little bear and all that. Like that for me, that's my type.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that.
You have to like that energy is not, because the way I look at dating now is I'm not dating. I don't have time to waste. Not that I've got plenty of time, but I'm not going to waste. I'm not dating to fill in my time. I'm dating to see who's going to be the potential mother to my children. Yeah. And how she conducts herself as a woman is how my daughter's going to conduct herself. It's the type of partner that my son is going to look at. Yeah. Like look for in their mother. Every man looks for in a weird way, their mother. So I need someone that's going to conduct themselves how I want my daughters and my son to end up marrying.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Other icks, not much. Like it's simple. I think you just go through it. You go through you have to try and test. You have to.
Any red flags? Any red flags that you're like?
My biggest thing is match my effort. That's it. If you don't match my effort, I respect that, but I don't waste my time. I think the biggest thing is as well is like we get so caught up on, and I used to be guilty for it when I was younger. You get so caught up on looks and everything that it kind of, just because they're hot, what substance do they bring? What depth do they bring? What looks fade. I need a mental connection. I need someone who's like going to stimulate me mentally. I need someone that's going to be around if I'm sick or if I'm all that. So I don't know, as you get older, you sort of like learn different things. You learn what you want. Red flags, I feel like with me, red flags are things that it's just not what we're compatible on. I like a woman that takes care of herself, that she doesn't have to be high maintenance. She doesn't go buy a million things, but she has something with her life. She doesn't mind, putting her phone on silent and fucking off and reading a book or something like that. That's just what I like. It doesn't mean that, because a lot of the time, because a lot of women ask me for my opinion on what a woman should be. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be, and there's someone for you. This is just my personal preference. My word isn't gospel. My word isn't God. This is what I like. I'm allowed to have a type. All women and all men are allowed to have a type. You cop it on social media, and they'll be like, oh, but this and this. But I don't fucking sit and tell you off for not liking men over under 6 foot.
Yeah, 100%.
The love of your life is 5'10", but you're missing out on it, and you're dealing with a guy that treats you like shit who's 5'9".
Even when we say our opinion of what we like in a guy, we have all these men that are angry at us having opinion, and it's fine. Like that's not you. No one's dictating how you approach life or your dating or whatever. We're just saying.
Apparently, we're not allowed to have preferences.
We're not allowed.
As humans, we have to
anyone on social media is not allowed. I cop it sometimes. I have women that message me and they're like, "How can you say this? How can you say that?" Honey, I literally help millions of women around the world help men find the clear. I'm doing sweet. Like, you don't need to attack me. I'm doing like gospel work. Don't fucking sit and attack me.
That's a good segue. We should talk about sex.
Yeah. What do you think like makes a good sexual partner?
I think you know what? Good banter. I think good banter. Good sex starts outside the bedroom.
Yeah.
Good sex definitely starts outside the bedroom. The chemistry outside on not just sex. Like if you can chop it up about every different topic, if you can vibe, have a good time together, be comfortable, especially for women. If a woman feels safe, secure, and comfortable and relaxed around you, the sex is going to be better than average anyway.
Yeah.
If you can make her relax, she wants to be in your presence. She wants to be in your energy because you can make her calm. She's going to be, a lot of the time, she's going to feel a lot more secure and be out of her head when you have sex. So it's going to be way better. Do you know what I mean? So it starts outside the bedroom, and then inside the bedroom, I always say, like, if you're a giver and they're a giver and you both go above and beyond to give each other, but also start from zero. Like how we were talking about before, how, in my personal bedroom life, people think that there's this misconception. He knows what he's doing. He knows what I'm doing. I did a post the other day and I said, the most important thing with a partner, whether it be me, whether it be anyone, is you understand that you're both starting from zero. If you both accept that you're starting from zero with each other, no matter if you've had a million sexual partners or zero, start from zero together, because then you'll learn what you both like. You'll learn each other's body. You're not, and communicate. Women are like, he doesn't know how to have sex with me. Tell him, have you met with, I need a map. I can't drive to this place without having a map. You need a map.
I was speaking to a girlfriend about this because she was saying, this was ages ago, she was saying that she was with this guy and he was going down her, and she was like, it was so bad. And I was like, babe, if it was bad, why didn't you like direct him like a little bit in a sexy way, like, oh, like this, touch that, whatever, because he's down there to make you feel good. Like that's why he's there. So it's like, what, you're just sitting there and not enjoying something when you can like direct it. I feel like that openness is important.
Male ego. Fuck a male ego. And to be honest with you, if you're sleeping with someone who doesn't value and is open to communication, like the way I see it is, you're both there to have sex with each other. So you both want each other. You both find each other hot. There's nothing wrong with directing each other to get better. No. If you keep faking it, he's licking your kneecap instead of your clear, and you keep faking it, a man's brain is designed to go off what is right. So if you continue to reaffirm to him that him licking your kneecap is what's getting you off because you're fake moaning, what do you think he's going to do every time? He's going to like, oh, she moaned last time, so let me go straight to his kneecap. And how it also works is he's going to copy and paste what he did with his last missus or the last person he slept with, that she moaned and it worked, and he's going to put it on to you until you direct him otherwise.
Yeah.
He's only doing what he's taught.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're not like that, and you want to be with someone who's open to being teachable, not just in bedroom, but in life. You want to be with, you're not the same, like you two are never going to be the same. You're going to be compatible, and how you make it and continue to keep it hot, sexy, loving is to understand that you're both individual people moving through life. You're both picking up different traits. You're going to be a different person in 3 months when you get back from Europe. So the guy who's dating you now is not going to date the same person who you're going to be in 3 months. But if he's smart enough to make it work, he's going to realize, okay, let me pay attention to what she's doing on her trip, what she liked, what new sort of hobbies that she's done. Oh, ever since she went to Europe, she's now wearing more brown colors or orange colors, because we're growing so much as individuals. Once you realize that and you accept that you're not with the same person for the rest of your life, you're with a different soul in the same body. And the more you grow together, the better it's always going to be.
Yeah.
And you want to be with someone like that in the bedroom. You want to be with someone who's open to communicating and understanding that it's not an attack on you. It's hey, let's try this so we can get better. And it's in every wedding card, every wedding that I go to, I write the same thing. Sorry to anyone whose wedding I've been to and you hear this, but it's the most important bit of advice I'm going to give you. No matter what, in a relationship, when you face a problem, it's you and your partner versus the problem, not the problem making you and your partner versus each other.
Yeah.
So if the issue is having an amazing sex life or good sex, it should be, okay, how do we make this an adventure to get better at it rather as an obstacle from stopping us from connecting?
That's true.
Do you think that if two people lack sexual compatibility, whether that being sex drive or how they like certain things or whatever, do you think that there's a possibility to work on that? Or do you think that would kind of be...
Yeah, there's always, if two people are open to work on it, yes. So the thing is like throughout, we're all pretty much around the same age. And we understand if we go from our 20s to close to our 30s, I think we're around the same age. Anyway, but how old are you both?
28.
I'm 30.
Yeah, we're the same. Well, I'm 28. So we're the same age. We got 10 years. Okay. So from 20 to 30, we realize that it's so like we have ups and downs in life. We have lulls. In a relationship, you're going to have lulls. As a man, let's say, for example, I have my own businesses. There's going to be a time where business is stressful. I'm not going to be as horny, not because I don't want to fucking make love to my partner or my wife or like whoever, but it's because I like as a male, how prehistoric males dated is, we're built, our nervous system is designed for survival. It's not designed for anything else other than survival. So when both men and women, when we're in a state of fight or flight or survival, our blood doesn't rush to our genitals. It rushes to our main arteries to keep us alive. So when a man's under financial pressure, when he's under financial stress, when he's under all these other things, it's not that he doesn't want to make love to you. It's that his body is currently going through immense stress where he can't even get blood flow to his penis. He wants to have sex with you. He just can't at the moment because of that. So if you understand
women as well, like if she's really
women as well, you should understand when you have a stressful week at work, or even if you're going through like a rough time in your relationship, half the time you don't even want to have sex. Like, I want to get through this. I'm in my head too much. I don't even want to do this. So even if your libidos are mismatched, you have to find a compromise with each other. Love always prevails. There's going to be some compromises as well that, you know, for example, if a woman wants to have a male, female threesome, as a man, personally, my own personal interest, I don't want to see another man be with my missus. It's not my cup of tea. But if that's a fantasy of hers, I'm not going to not allow her. She can do whatever the fuck she wants, but I'm not going to agree to it. But if I'm smart, I'll look for a compromise. So I will be like, okay.
The boundaries.
Okay. Look, we'll go get a little silicone dildo. He ain't a man, but it's like another man, but without another man.
Yeah.
It's compromise. Always that.
Can we ask you male perspective on lube? Because I feel like recently we've had so many conversations where men have this weird like stigma against using lube, like, oh, I'm not getting her wet enough. Do you think, have you come across that? And what do you think? Like, yeah.
I mean, look, 10 years face to face in an adult store, you've heard it through. Let me explain one thing. There is nothing against using lube. That's it. The way it is, if you're a male, look at it like this. Your car, when there's moisture and it's cold and like it can create a little bit of thing, but it needs liquid. It needs oil. You need lubricant. Lubricant's only going to make the experience 10 times better for the both of you. It's not because you can't get her wet or you can't get her excited. Let me explain something to you. If she didn't want to be there, she wouldn't be there. If you didn't turn her off enough if you didn't turn her on enough to want to have sex with you, she wouldn't be there. Sometimes, again, life happens. Just like when a guy goes down, it's not because he's not turned on by her. It's just stress, life, modern world. It happens. Everyone should be using lubricant. And ensure it's always going to make it better. It's going to enhance the experience significantly because you're not sitting there worrying about. And as well, if you're going like for a prolonged session, you're going to naturally dry up. It's just what happens. That's life. The lube allows you to have those prolonged sessions. You know, you use lube with a toy. It's just life. It's life. Don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as
elevate the experience.
It does. It makes it amazing. Also, I feel like on the female side of things, there is a stigma like about not being wet. And how that translates or wet enough, like it translates to our performance as women. But it's like not really something we can no, it's not really something we can control.
No, and there's so many factors as to why someone is, you know, wet and not wet, whether that's medication, whether that's whether stress is or whatever, but I don't think it's a direct link to being turned on at all.
Again, the most accurate direct link is, are they there naked in front of you? Yes. Okay. Everything else is out of your, like, it's not your fault. So if you can't get wet, doesn't mean you're not excited. It's just, like you said, medication can play a part. Head noise can play a part. So many different things can play a part. It doesn't mean that they don't want to have sex with you or they're not hot or turned on by the fact that you're there. You know what I mean? I'm praying that if anyone was in a situation where they're not turned on or they're just doing it for get out of there immediately.
Wow.
You know? But lube makes the experience 10 times better. Just like toys, you know?
So a lot of men have the ego about the toy things, don't they?
Fucking freaks me out. What for? When I can go build a house with my bare hands or with hand tools, but why the fuck would I do that when I can go to Bunnings and get a power tool and get the job done quicker? Am I going to sit there on the house with every screw like this. No, I'm gonna go to Bunnings. I'm gonna pay $150 or however many Drew is. I'm gonna get the little Makita and drill. It's the same thing with toys. You know, why are you gonna sit there with your thumb and just and then he's sitting there complaining, my thumb hurts. Just get a fucking bullet. It doesn't make you irrelevant. Now, I know you probably have a strong female audience. What I would recommend for ladies, if you're dealing with a man who is a little bit insecure or a little bit paranoid about toys, I've converted men. Like I have turned, you know that Drake line? It's like, point out any skeptic, I'll make him a believer. I've had men, and in particular Arabic men, come in and like, brother, why does she need a toy? She's got my dick. She doesn't need a toy, blah, blah. They leave with fucking bags full of toys. Because it's only going to make your job easier. You're sitting there humping like an idiot. You've had a long day at work. You're fucking exhausted. You're also trying to be a little freak, rub the clitoris at the same time. The thumb's getting sore, or you might be going down on her. Your neck's cramping. Get a toy. It's going to make, it doesn't make you irrelevant. I always have this argument. It's women are always going to choose a man over a toy, unless they completely hate men. Like, because there are. Oh, actually, side note, if we're talking icks and red flags, if I'm on a dating site and a woman's got the hinge prompt as, what's the best thing a man can do? And it's like, shut the fuck up. Ick. Ick.
Yeah.
Ick. Absolutely. Yeah. Anyone that has any bit of hating on men, now listen, call men out when they're wrong, but any profile that has hating on men,
it's bizarre to put it on your dating profile.
It's bizarre that you're on a dating app
for
trying
men
to look for a man. Well,
like, shit, baby, come to my side and look for women. Like, what? You know, nothing against that. Hey, like, you know, you do you, boo. But like, anyway. So back to men. Like, teach him that the toy and him is what's getting you off, and it's not the toy. So I always recommend to women is give him the toy and show him how to use it on you. Not unless he's confident in himself and he's like comfortable in his masculinity and his sexuality. Don't sit there and use it on yourself. Give it to him to use it on you and teach him. But he understands that it's not you and the toy versus him. It's him and the toy pleasuring you. I know it's like, oh, but men should understand. Not all men understand. And sometimes we have to navigate these things in life. Sometimes, you know, you got to lose a war. You got to lose a battle to win a war.
I found that as somebody who was like a big vibrator girl in my younger years, I found that it made me less sensitive to other things. That's why I stopped using them.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Someone said it to me once, like, that's going to make you less sensitive to like when, gosh, how are we talking about this? I don't know. This could potentially be cut out, but yeah, that they're like, it'll desensitize you over time. And I was like, fuck, but I'm so sensitive. So then I stopped using them.
Yeah.
Yes and no. If you're sitting there every fucking 3 minutes of the day and you're using it's like anything. Do you know what I mean? Men, so I don't need to know your sex lives, but if you've ever slept with a man who's circumcised and non-circumcised, the man who's circumcised always lasts longer than the man who's non-circumcised. The reason being is because the foreskin is stopping it from getting desensitized.
Yeah.
Whereas if he's circumcised, his little willy bear is rubbing on his underwear all day, and it desensitizes it. If you're using a vibrator on the clit all day, it's going to essentially desensitize it.
There you go.
It's healthy to put the vibrator down. It's okay. I know I'm going to probably lose money from it, but it's healthy. It's okay. Put it down for a minute. It ain't going to go anywhere.
That's so good. You have a bit of a personality like that.
When I'm stressed, I'm really horny.
Yeah.
So throughout uni and stuff, I was very like vibrator girl.
Better than crack.
When people are stressed, they're not horny. I'm the opposite. Anxiety makes, like, if I'm anxious, if I'm stressed, if I'm whatever, I get really horny.
Wow.
So yeah, anyways, we're cutting this out.
If your future husband's listening to this, ensure she's in a high stress environment.
This is not going to be in there. We're cropping this out.
That's funny.
Funny. Okay. Is that it? No, so this is a side story. When I was 17, my friend Mackenzie, she was like a very sexual woman. She's older than me. She took me to a sex store and she's like, I'm going to change your life. and she got me, my first vibrator was like, remember that rabbit one? I'm sure you still stock it. It was this pink one, whatever. And that like changed my life. And I was like, at that point, I was like, why would I ever speak to a guy? Like, but I wasn't really having sex then, but it wasn't, I'd never also had an orgasm from a guy. I'd only, like, I had sex for the first time when I was 17, but
I didn't have an orgasm with a guy till I was 22.
Yeah, mine was from the
4 years without.
I've never had an orgasm from a guy, so I'm jealous. But look, toys, people don't understand, like toys can be used for good. You know, like the best way to teach a man how to pleasure you is first to teach yourself. So by using toys, I say it all the time too. Like me and Mackenzie must be like best friends, because I tell women all the time when they come in, I'm like, this is like crack. Just understand, like this is like blue magic. If you ever watch American Gangster, this is blue magic. You're about to try crack for the first time. They try it. I'm like, I'll see you next week. And then literally so many come back like, it's like when you try sugar for the first time, you're like, what is this? It's the same thing. Like you realize that, yes, it's okay. And especially a lot of people that grown up in ethnic households, a lot of people who, you know, sex isn't a massive topic. Once you first start to explore your body and get an understanding of your body and realize that, holy, I am in control of my orgasm, you're like, okay, I want to do more of this. There's nothing wrong with orgasming. It's actually healthy for you. There's nothing wrong with pleasuring yourself. There is obviously over pleasure, but there's nothing wrong with pleasuring yourself. It is healthy for you. So the earlier,
what do you think about the no fap thing for men?
The no what?
Yeah, men shouldn't pull their cocks. Men should. Sorry,
what?
It's like men who don't masturbate.
Men who don't masturbate.
It's like a whole idea of not masturbating because you're giving yourself a false sense of dopamine hit.
Okay.
And like testosterone loss. So as a man, like it's not.
So you're saying men should or should not masturbate?
The whole idea is that they don't.
No. You know, another topic, like so many women message me and say, my husband watches porn, my partner watches porn. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it's gross. Yeah.
How you got your gorgeous wife there and you're gonna pull your cock you're gonna pull your penis or your willy bear to two random strangers on the internet. Your wife just wants to be banged across the kitchen counter while your kids are watching Shark Doody-Doo. Like,
I know.
So porn is one of the most. I gotta be careful what I say because, like,
we'll edit some stuff out.
It's not. I'm not scared of anything. It's porn has its place. You know, if you're gonna use porn, I think men should only use porn for two things. If you're so scared of going up to women and you have no plan on going up to women, just pull your dick, bro. Go watch porn, do your thing. If you're a guy who's actively wanting to attract, whether it be the same sex or opposite sex, I only speak for men who go for women. I can't speak. You know, some gay guy asked me the other day, he's like, what sort of advice would you give for a man trying to get another man? I said, go look in the mirror, tell the person in the mirror, hey, this is what I like, and let me know the response. He's like, but that means I'm talking to yourself. I'm like, exactly, you're a fucking man. Ask yourself, you're dating other men. How am I meant to look? Anyway, sorry, side quest. So you got to sit there and just, if you're a man who wants to get women, the worst thing you can do is pull your penis. Because number one, you got this false idea about what sex is like. You think that they fuck for 20, 30 minutes. They don't. It's cut scenes. Just like a podcast, it's cut scenes. You know, the perception of your woman should look like this, she should look like that. No, a lot of the times when she's on her back and she's resting and relaxed, she's going to have a little bit of rolls, a little bit of a mum tum and all that. It's natural. That's what sex is. It's natural sex. It's supposed to be moaning 24/7. No, that's not his thing. That's not how it's supposed to be. So they create this sort of false perception, and also it leads to so much performance anxiety. But he's fucking for hours. He's fucking for this. It doesn't happen. I tell guys all the time, without delving into my personal life, I say to them, I am someone who has all the answers. I still don't get up sometimes. I still finish early sometimes. I still put the wrong thing in the wrong places sometimes. It's natural. The whole point, that's why I go back to start from zero with a new partner. Start with no experience together and build on that experience, because the sex is ultimately going to get better. Porn is just going to destroy that perception. And the guys who sit there and watch porn in relationships baffles me. Why the fuck do I want to watch two randoms have sex when my wife is horny in front of me? She's just gone to honey, but they got herself a hot little set, and I'm gonna pull my doodle to two randoms.
Yeah.
I love it. I agree. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know, like, and that's what's
it's like low vibrational. It's such a like low, it's not healthy. It's not,
You can always do a part 2.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
All right. Ladies, thank you for having me.
And thank you for spreading the good word.
Next time in Sydney, like we'll do it in person.
We'll do it in person. When I get back.
Yeah.
Either when you're in Sydney or I'm in Melbourne.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Have fun. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Ladies, pleasure. Enjoy.
Have the best day.
You too. See you later.
Bye.